Well, good morning, Connect Church. I hope you guys are having a great week. I understand today is Vietnam Veterans Day, and so just want to give a shout out to all of our Vietnam veterans. I believe Ken Minnick in our congregation is one of our Vietnam veterans, and so Ken, we thank you and appreciate you for your service as we do all of our Vietnam veterans. Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying our journey through Daniel as well. This next week will be in chapter 3. It's going to be a familiar passage for many of us. It's about Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, more commonly known as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, facing off with Nebuchadnezzar and ending up in the fiery furnace. And we're going to talk about something that these guys got. And that is that faith is not about certainty that God will act according to your immediate interest. Faith is about certainty that God will always act according to your eternal best interest. And they got that. And that may mean that God will not always act in your current circumstances the way you think he should or the way you want him to. That may mean that we experience some uncertainty about how God will act in our immediate circumstances, just as these three gentlemen did. They told Nebuchadnezzar, hey, our God can save us. We don't know if he will, but even if he don't, we're still not gonna, we'll still choose burning over bowing and perishing over prostrating before we bow to anything other than him. And so these guys got that. And so we're going to be taking a look at that. There's a few other things that we're going to take a look at. First one is just the structure of Daniel chapter 3 and Daniel as a whole. There's this thing called chiasm. It's very prominent in Daniel. It's very prominent in Hebraic literature, and therefore it's common in the Bible, and Daniel is full of it. Daniel actually has a double chiastic structure, and a chiasm is simply a literary device or way of telling a story where the second half of the story or the points of the second half of the story mirror thematically the first half. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. There will be an article I'll post down in the comments down there, look down there, in the comments, and kind of help explain that a little bit. Another thing we're going to take a look at is worship. This is about worship. Worship is mentioned 11 times. The verb is mentioned 11 times in this passage. And so, of course, the whole Bible is about worship, but this passage gives us a visual picture of what God expects in worship. And so we're going to be talking about that. There will be an article about worship, again, down in the comments, a little pre-reading for you. And then another thing we're going to take a look at is we're going to look at the wrath of God versus the wrath of Nebuchadnezzar. There's some differences there. And just the idea that wrath is not an attribute of God. God is holy, just, and righteous. And when those things are violated, when those attributes are violated, wrath may come as a consequence of that. But there's a difference between man's wrath and God's wrath. And so we're going to explore that as well. And guess what? There's a little article down there in the bottom that you can check out to do a little pre-reading and get your mind kind of wrapped around that and prepared for this Sunday. Hey, I love you guys. I hope you're having a great week. God bless y'all. Thank you to our Vietnam veterans for what y'all did for us, your sacrifice. God bless y'all. Have a great week.